You know, it's funny, about a year ago, I did a video on video game properties that I think need tabletop adaptations, and two of my top choices were Halo and Mass Effect. And I am sitting here right now with Halo Flashpoint and Mass Effect the board game. Operation Helghast? Priority Helghast. This is something that was a little bit of a surprise to me. I saw some signage for it at, I think it was Gen Con, and I had no idea that this was something that we had coming, but I naturally went and put in a pre-order for all of the things because I'm an absolute Mass Effect stan. I love me some Mass Effect, and I love me some co-op board games. So let's crack into this. So this is the game, and as far as I understand, you don't need any of those other boxes that you see there. Those are just miniatures for other characters. You don't even really need all of them. These are all the same set, but I wanted to paint some Mass Effect miniatures, so I got all of the things. I already gotta say, FemShep, good choice. That's the right Shepherd. So that shows that they know what they're doing. That's definitely a good sign. And we have all of the important characters on the front. Best Girl Liara, Best Boy Garrus, and then the other characters. Oh man, I just pissed off so many Tally people. That's okay. Rex is really the man, so we know. Mission book. Same art. It's got a ring binder. Okay, so I guess these are maps. Okay, that's pretty cool. Different scenarios, I assume. Not much in terms of like fluff or flavor text to set up the missions. I guess we're just jumping right into it. That's fine. Mission 1C. So maybe a branching campaign. I honestly know almost nothing about this. I just bought it because it said Mass Effect and had miniatures, and I was excited. And it was a co-op game, and I like co-op games. And Modiphius is cool, so we're gonna learn about it together. I keep hearing about these new Mass Effect games that they're working on, and I don't know if I'm ready to get excited about it yet. I feel like I could just be setting myself up for disappointment. The Normandy SR2. I wonder if this takes place, I know there's Cerberus guys. I wonder when this takes place in the timeline. If this puts it around Mass Effect 2, or if it's just before Mass Effect 3, or what the deal is. Narrative book. Okay, here we go. So that's what I was looking for. Narrative stuff. Let's get some fluff going. Different numbers. Presumably this will all have lots of spoilers, so maybe don't read it. Don't pause the video. Or okay. So little quick reference. Not a ton in there. There's only 25 pages or so. The rulebook. This guy's kind of chunky. Some more reference stuff. Table of contents. Some cool art. Looks like original art too, yeah. This is not renders from the game. That's art. That's cool. In the year 2186. I don't know the timeline well enough to say when that is in the game terms. I could probably look that up and maybe put it up on the screen, or somebody can tell us in the comments. Overview. The squad. Commander Shepard, Garrus Vakarian, Liara Sony, Talizora Naraya. Isn't it Talizora Naraya Vas Normandy? Excuse me. Anyway, or not Rex. Rex is the man. I'm so excited to paint. Rex. Squad mate miniatures, other things. You know what? Let's get back to this later. Oh, the mission book. Interesting. Oh, that's talking about the mission book. That's not the part of the book. Okay. I'm keeping up. Cool. So not a super, I mean, there's a bit of heft to this, but not a super long rule book. We're looking at 41 pages, and there's quite a bit of fluff and diagrams and all that kind of stuff in there. Some more cool art. Mr. Rex. Let's get to the campaign map. Okay, yeah. So there's gonna be it's kind of loyalty. I don't know if there's loyalty missions or if that's like really, yeah, loyalty missions. That's awesome. Okay. I mean, this is the crew of Mass Effect 1, but loyalty missions were a Mass Effect 2 thing. And war readiness was a Mass Effect 3 thing, so interesting. I'm super curious how they did this. And all of the missions have numbers and letters, so I wonder how the campaigns are structured. I'll be curious if that means you want to play it a bunch of times and it's a short campaign, or it's kind of what it seems like. Looks like some dashboards for each player. And now it's male ship. Come on. I hope the miniature is fem ship. If it's male ship, I'll be slightly disappointed. Shepherd, he, him. Wrong. I don't know what any of this stuff means, but we'll find that out later. Some tokens. Two things of tokens. Not that many tokens, to be honest with you. And actually, a lot of these are just for models, and we don't need those because we have the models. And that's cooler. Actually, most of these are just models. Cool. Okay, so not very many tokens at all, to be honest. Some question marks, some other symbols. That's cool. And there's blank ones, which I don't know if that's intentional or they just had extra space. The good stuff. So, we got Rex. Honestly, kind of small. A little smaller than I might have expected for one of these dudes. He should be quite big. Yeah, I mean, Krogans are big. I feel like they're bigger than that, but I could be misremembering. Who is that? Is that Femshep? I think that's Femshep. It's definitely not Liara or Tally, so it must be Femshep. Oh, yeah. Cool. So we got both Sheps. That's the right call. If you're not just going to do Femshep, then both is the right call. Interesting that he's got a gun and his little tool sword thing. Is that a connection point? Yeah. Gonna be a little bit of cleanup on these guys. Not too bad though. Quality of the minis, not bad. They're I would say something like a standard board game miniature. They feel pretty sturdy. They're not like bendy, which is nice. Everything looks pretty straight on them. There's a little bit of definition in the hair. It's not super thick, but that looks good. And you can see some pretty clear segments on the armor and stuff, so not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't see a lot of cleanup that they're gonna need either, which is nice. There's a couple of little connection points, but you gotta expect that. All single piece, all pre-based. So if you're not a miniatures gamer, if you're primarily a board gamer, this should be pretty easy to jump into. They're ready to go right out of the box, which is cool. There he is, the man with his sniper rifle. Mr. Garrus. Does he have his little eye thing on? Yeah, he does. A little omnical. I like it. And Liara doing magic. She's just got a ball hand. If you're enjoying this video and you want to support the channel, then there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. The first would be to pick up some merchandise through my merch store. You can grab a t-shirt, a hoodie, a mug, a sticker, all sorts of cool stuff like that. You can also shop using my affiliate links, so if you're going to make any purchases from any of these companies, you can use the links in the description below to make your purchases, and it will go directly to supporting the channel at no extra cost to you. There's also a link for my Ko-fi if you would just like to give me a tip, or my Patreon if you want to support me longer term. I have a bunch of different tiers there, and there are all sorts of benefits available to people, such as early access to videos, ad-free videos, the opportunity to vote in polls about upcoming content, and extra entries into the giveaways that I run occasionally. But if none of that is your cup of tea, no problem at all. Just make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and leave a like on the video. It actually helps a tremendous amount. And if you want to go the extra mile, then consider sharing the video out with some friends who you think might find it interesting. The YouTube algorithm is not kind to small YouTubers, so that helps a whole bunch. Other than that, consider joining the Discord, also linked in the description, where you can come and hang out with me and the rest of the community and talk games. But with that, let's get right back to the video. Connection points on the arms. That's weird. I don't know why they do that. It's harder to clean off, but shouldn't be a big deal. I think there's only one on each of them, which is nice. Most people could just ignore that. And Tally. What she got in her hand? Huh. A can't tell what that is. The detail there is a little bit foggy. And she's teeny. I wonder what scale they consider this. I'm gonna measure them because they're not, they're kind of a little bit on the small side. I will say they're pretty true scale, which is cool. I mean, they're not exactly true scale, like that's not really fully human proportions, but it's very close. It's not, they're not big chibi models like you'd see on like a Games Workshop model or a lot of board games. You'll see where they'll have their head will be this big and then their body will be teeny and their hands will be big and meaty in the side of their chest. But these are pretty close to true scale, which I like. Even if you lose a little bit of the detail because of that, I always prefer if they look like the thing they're supposed to be, which is cool. So I'm pretty pleased with those. Not bad. We got some cubes, we got some dice, all funny symbols and such. Also very large, which is weird. These are like, I don't know, 60 mil a side. Maybe a little more than that, maybe 70 mil. I don't know. They're big dice though. We got a dice bag with the Mass Effect symbol on it, so that's cool. Some cards. I don't know what any of those are going to mean. And a dry erase marker, I guess for the dashboards. So that's cool. Oh, and this is a cool thing that I think more games should do. Give me a bunch of little drug bags to put my tokens in. This is a lot for the number of tokens there are, I guess, for the enemies, but I don't need those. But still, good idea. Definitely a thing that companies should do. I see that more and more lately, and I definitely like that. All right, let's crack into some of these other miniatures. So we got Cerberus troops. I would imagine they'll be very similar to the ones we just saw, but we'll take a look at them anyway. Kind of a small box. I wonder if there's just the miniatures in here and nothing else because all the rules are already in there, which is cool. Oh, these are multi-part. Wow, interesting. They're multi-part and not on they're on separate bases. And they're resin. Wow, very cool. Okay, this is exciting. So I guess if you're a board gamer, maybe don't buy these unless you want to get into hobby a little bit more, but these are multi-part models. Very cool. I did not realize that that was the thing. So you can see right away, it may be a little harder to see because it's white, but you can see right away that there's a significantly higher level of detail here. The details are much sharper and deeper cut into the model, so they're going to stand out a little better. They're going to be easier to paint. I don't know what kind of material this is. It's like, it looks like resin. It feels like a weird combination of resin and plastic. I'm gonna have to look up what this is. I wonder if it's some kind of hybrid. It's got the issues that resin has with like the weird connection things and the little flaky bits, but the model's clean, so that's nice. It's not like a fail cast situation. This will be really easy to cut off at the feet. We got some arms. Yeah, the details on the guns aren't spectacular. I think the problem there is that the guns are very like high-tech looking and they're very small, so it's hard to make the details pop. But like the helmet looks good. And then I think that's to hold a shield. Yeah, there you go. Little gun port. Cool. Okay, I didn't realize that these were going to be multi-part kits. Yeah, it says they're resin, so must be like their own weird proprietary thing. I wonder if Modifius has other models that are made out of that. If you have experience with their stuff, drop a comment and let me know. So 30 mil bases, and it looks like there's it's 6 different sculpts. So very cool. I'm impressed. They call it 32 mil as well. So multi-part, high quality resin miniatures with plastic bases. Nice. Okay. Well, I unfortunately won't be able to show you the constructed bases at this point, but maybe I'll put a few together and show them to you later. Stay tuned for that. So let's look at some Reaper forces. Creepy, possessed Reaper things. Ooh, there's husks. and a possessed Turian. That's the word. So, little Reaper Husk. Missing his leg. These ones are a little bit dirtier in terms of the casting. They have like some of the, I don't know what you call it with resin. It's like thin little bits that end up coming off of it. But honestly, resin is my least favorite material to have miniatures made out of, but that's not so bad. At least the cast itself looks clean, so can't complain. A lot of times with resin you get like slippage where there's pieces that aren't shaped the right way, and there's like 1,000 connection points. Maybe it's just GW. Their fine cast were just atrocious. Yeah, so a little bit more of it on this, but not too bad. Each thing's only got 1 connection point, which is good. It'll be easy to clean up, and they actually look like they did them well. They did them on like very small points and like under the arm, so it's not going to be places where it's super obvious once the model built. Very cool stuff. A couple of different options here. All 30 mil bases. I guess it probably won't matter what size base they are in terms of game rules, so that makes sense. What else do we have? Oh, okay, that's right. I remember this now. So these are the premium versions of the Normandy crew. So these are multi-part models of the ones that we saw in the box. Very cool. I just need them to put out an RPG now, and we can use all of these for the Mass Effect RPG, and it'll be the greatest. All right, here we go. Rex and Effects. Let's see it. Doesn't want to come out of his bag. There we go. Yeah. Let me grab the other one. Oh, okay, so slightly different posing, which is interesting. He's like bent over in the pre-built one, but again, the color makes it a little hard to see, but you should be able to tell here that the details are a little bit sharper, or quite a bit sharper, on the non-pre-assembled version. You can see like the ribbing on the armor and stuff. It's deeper set into the model. For some reason my camera only wants to focus on one at a time. Obviously way more work. You have to cut these out, clean them up, assemble them, and all that, but for someone who's into the modeling and the hobby side, then it's well worth it. But cool that you can just pull these out of the box and go if you want to, but I will certainly be excited to get some of these painted up. The more detailed ones, and get a nice fancy looking Normandy crew going. Very cool. So that is the rest of the crew in different poses. Also a femme chef and a male chef, which is cool, and she's got 2 guns this time. So they switched that up a little bit, which is interesting. Tally doing some engineering stuff. We got some more magic effects. Sniper Garrus knelt down. I like that. Very cool. I am excited to get these going. And then we have some more advanced enemies, I guess, for each of the enemy factions. It looks like these are just 3 apiece. Just for sake of completeness, I'll pop these open. Ooh, these guys are big. So these are, that looks like a Kurgan. Yeah, it is a Kurgan. I don't know what that is. It's ugly though. I like it. And some Cerberus operatives. Oh, interesting. So the little shield thing is a translucent piece. Camera focus is a translucent piece. You can see that on the box there. It's got a little bit of sprue gate, but it looks like if you want to get it painted up, and then you can put this out and it looks like a force field or something like that. energy shielding, which is pretty cool. We got a little sword blade. It's a little on the thick side for my taste. It's also kind of short, but I guess maybe that's intentional. It's kind of cool. But that's it for Mass Effect, the board game. Priority Hagalaz. I don't know what that word is. Oh well. Yeah, I just wanted to show off some of the stuff that came in here. I'm very excited about this. I definitely need to put some of these models together, get them painted up, and I'll definitely be showing those on my Discord and on Instagram and stuff like that, so make sure you follow me in those places if you're interested. And then I'm gonna dig into the rulebook and hopefully find some folks to play this with. But the nice thing is I can just play by myself if I want. So that might be what I'll do, because it's very hard for me to find people to play board games with. Anyway, I will get back to you about that and give you a quick take on what I think of the game itself in the future once I've had a chance to kind of dig into it. But drop a comment below and let me know, are you excited to check out a Mass Effect board game? It's been a really long time since I've had a new Mass Effect thing that I actually enjoyed. So hopefully this won't be a horrible disappointment, but worst case scenario, I'll have a whole bunch of cool Mass Effect minis. So it can't be too bad. And a cool picture of FemChat. But that's all I got for you. So with that, I want to send a huge thank you to the extremely cool kids here on Patreon, Steve Barrett Scoundrels, Dogmatized, and Devin. And thanks for watching.